Now, it's been almost 20 years since one of the nation's favourite comedy shows first hit our TV screens. Now, the League of Gentlemen cast are set to return to their roots with a major UK live tour.
We'll speak to the gentlemen themselves in a moment. First, though, let's remind ourselves of life in the fictional northern town of Royston Vasey.
League of Gentlemen actors Steve Pemberton and Reece Shearsmith are with us now on the sofa. It's lovely to see a classic like that. Will you, in this live tour, are you bringing back some of the classics?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we thought we couldn't not have a celebration of all things Royston Vasey without a trot round all the old favourites. So yeah, I think if you're a fan, you'll be pleased at the selection we've made.
We're doing that sketch, actually.
Yeah. Are you?
Because the first half, we used to perform in Edinburgh Festival in dinner suits with just one piece of costume for each character. So we're doing the first half like that, and we're pulling out some more obscure sketches and one-offs like that.
So what, you have a moustache or whatever it is?
Exactly, and then the second half is the full-on costumes, sets, and Royston Vasey brought to life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And talk about fans, because you presumably get fans from all different age groups now, will you? Do you think?
Well, yeah, we're hoping we'll get some young people along.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's really, especially doing these specials we did at Christmas, has brought a whole new audience to it, and also having the show on different platforms now. Even though I think it looks quite timeless. I don't think it's aged. We've aged, but the show itself.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. Have you? I mean, do you update that sketch presumably?
There's a few other little lines in it that make it, because of the world now, we've got Tinder. It's not the same thing. I mean, you do have them. I think they're coming back, actual dating agencies, but we've addressed it. Yeah.
Right.
In terms of the style of comedy, that sort of dark comedy in a live venue, how does the audience react to that? Because there are moments when you watch it on telly, it's like awkward, uncomfortable, and then there's a laugh normally at the end, isn't there? Does that happen the same with the stage show?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think that the League was never better than when we were live, because you have that absolute control of the atmosphere of the audience, and the tension that we used to create would be palpably, horrific until we break it with a laugh, and then the relief would be great. Because
I was going to say that there's probably relief from the audience as well. They're allowed to laugh.
I think these bigger shows that we'll be doing, they're much more. I think they're just funnier generally, because you can't really take them down such a dark road.
Right.
When they've come just to enjoy themselves.
Do you feel nervous sometimes? You think, right, okay, we've gone somewhere really dark here. How are we going to pull this back?
Not so much doing live shows, because we do calibrate it, as Reece said, to make sure it's a good fun night out for the crowd. We're not trying to send people home depressed.
No.
But in the first half especially, we do play with that, and it's amazing that you can hold an audience, even 2,000, 4,000. We're playing in Manchester up to 8,000 people, but you can really hold an audience, and people want to, be told a story. And
it's very theatrical, and we've always, because it's on our terms, you can afford, because we do a lot of sketches where we don't really address the audience. We're not like stand-ups where we're talking to them, but I think you can reel them in with little theatrical tales that you tell in these sketches, and try to sort of create characters that you care about. I think that's why they've endured.
You talked about updating the sketch there with Tinder and things like that. What about some of the topics that we are discussing every day? I mean, I know when you did the Christmas special, Steve, you got a bit of Brexit, a bit of austerity in there as well.
We did, yeah, and that was, we thought it was really good to reflect how times have moved on. We were never a political show, and we were ahead of the game, really. With this is a local shop for local people. We don't want strangers.
Now everyone thinks it.
They copied us, in fact, and I think we see over there passing resemblance to a few of our politicians. We've had a lot of political cartoons which have put various politicians outside the local shop. But we're not striving to be political, and in the live show, like I say, it's more of a celebration. It's not a political show.
I'm interested in what you think of the sort of how television has changed as well, and how would you pitch this now? Do you think if you pitch this?
I don't know, it'd be really hard. I think anyway it would be hard to get the League made now, because it's a sketch show.
Yeah. And
they're expensive. The flitting round of going to different situations to create the variety that you have in a sketch show is quite expensive and prohibitive, I think. And people nowadays, you don't see them, do you? They're really hard to pull off.
You hope that the show would succeed now, because it's a singular voice, and I think that in comedy you want things which have a very strong comic raison d'etre behind it. But who can tell whether it will get commissioned? People might find it too dark. But certainly, as soon as we put these shows out on sale for live shows, we were nervous who would come and who would remember it. But the first tranche of shows sold out immediately, so we know there's an audience.
We're genuinely surprised by the.
You talk about being fond of characters. Have you got a particular character that you're fond of?
I love doing Ollie Plimsolls, who's the head of Legs Akimbo Theatre Company. He's very earnest, and it's great fun to explore that the issue-based plays that Ollie puts forward.
And when you settle back into a character like that, does it feel comfortable because you've been doing such a long time?
It does, yeah. It was uncanny to be filming them again last October when we filmed the specials, because we were just back in Royston Vase. It was like we've never been away. We'll never leave, as the legend says.
Yeah. And so when does it start, the tour? Start soon?
We start on the 6th of August in the West Country, so if you're in Barnstaple or Weston-super-Mare or Torquay, which is an odd sort of way to start, but then we're going to Ireland, we're doing Dublin, Belfast, we're doing Birmingham, Nottingham.
And when you're doing an arena, I mean, you talk a little bit about the bigger audience. Do you have to have, I mean, do you have screens at the back so they can see you as well?
In the big venues, we have the screens, so you're getting double. You're getting the TV version and the theatre version. So
which is better?
I think the theatre version, like Reece said, it's, we've put this show together and there's some real sort of comic high set pieces that we wouldn't be allowed to do on television. So.
Oh, very interesting.
That's intriguing, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on and talking to us about it.
That's it from Breakfast Today.